Hi everyone, today's topic is how to solve problems involving ratios. So we'll be looking at word problems and how we can make sense of their ratios to figure out the answer. Here is the first example, example 5 from the book. Eggs, flour, and sugar are mixed in the ratio of 3 to 5 to 4 by weight to bake a cake. If the weight of the cake, the entire cake, is 3 pounds, find the weight in ounces of A, eggs, B, sugar, used in baking the cake. So this is actually a situation that you might come up with if you have, a recipe that helps you bake a smaller cake, but then you have to plan a party and you want to bake a bigger cake, right? Or a smaller cake because you don't have as many people. You need to make adjustments to the recipe. So let's take a look at this problem. Let's first list out, when I have word problems, I actually like to label and sometimes draw myself a table when it comes to ratios, especially when there's 3 ratios going on, because then there's tons of stuff going on. So let's table this out. So I have eggs, I have flour, sugar, and it looks like I also have the total weight of the cake. So I'm going to write the total as well. These are all for weight, right? They have a ratio by weight. So 3 pounds of eggs for every 5 pounds of flour for every 4 pounds of sugar. Okay? That's the ratio for the weight. 3 pounds of eggs, 5 pounds of flour, 4 pounds of sugar to bake a cake. We want to keep that ratio, right? Because if you've ever baked a cake and you messed with the ingredients, it's going to taste a little different. Like if I add 1 less egg or a little bit more sugar or stuff like that, it's going to change the way the cake tastes and the way it the texture of it. Okay, so in this question, they're asking if the weight of the entire cake, the total cake, is 3 pounds. Find the weight in ounces of the eggs and the sugar. Okay, so I'm going to put the total here because they want to know what the, let's see. They want to know the weight for the eggs. I'm going to put a box here. And the sugar, if the total weight of the cake is 3 pounds. I didn't put the total here for 3 pounds because it's not going to be the total for the original ratio. I have 3 pounds of eggs, 5 pounds of flour, 4 pounds of sugar. So these are going to add it together. That would be 12 pounds. So for the normal recipe, you're getting a 12-pound cake. Wow, that's a really heavy cake. So I can understand why this person now is like, that's too much cake. I just want a 3-pound cake, okay? So again, we added up all the weight of the original ratio, 3 plus 5 plus 4, to get that 12. That's the original one. This person wants to adjust the recipe to just get a total of 3 pounds for their cake. So they want to know how much eggs, how much flour, how much sugar do I then need, right? Well, let me change to a different color. Looks like this cake that they want to make is basically a quarter of the original recipe. 12 divided by 3 will get me, 12 divided by 4 will get me that 3-pounder of a cake. So what I got to do then is to take all these and I also got to divide by 4. So I end up with 3/4 pounds of egg, not 3/4 eggs. These are pounds. 5/4 when it comes to the flour, and then 4 divided by 4 is 1 pound of sugar. They just wanted to know eggs and sugar though. So for the eggs, it's 3/4 a pound of eggs, and for the sugar, it's 1 pound. 1. Okay, that's pretty much it. So creating that table really helped me figure out how all the numbers are related to each other. Okay? Let's take a look at example 6 from your book. It says Arlinda, Bernice, and Camelia share a sum of $4,720. They all share that together. That's their sum, their total. So later on when we make our little table, that'll be under the total side probably. The ratio of Arlinda's share to Bernice's share is 3-4. The ratio of Bernice's share to Camelia's share is 5-6. How much money does each girl get? Okay, there's a lot going on here, so I gotta write this stuff down. So first, this is the total, because it says sum, what happens when you add them all together. Ratio of Arlinda's share to Bernice's share is 3-4. Ratio of Bernice's share to Camelia's share is 5-6. How much does each girl get? So it looks like I need a ratio of each girl, a ratio of 3 at the end. So I need to deal with these two ratios of 2. So just like before, I need to get my B's to match up. I need to find the least common multiple of 4 and 5. Looks like they can both get to 20 by multiplying by each other, right? So let's do that. 4 times 5 and 5 times 4. So we want our B's to match up. This is 15 to 20, and this is 20 to 24. We want our B's, these two, to match up. So then we can transfer over here the ratio of A to B to C. Arlinda, Bernice, and Camelia would be 15 to 20, because those two 20s match, to 24. But that's not what they want. They want to know how much money does each girl get when their total was $4,720. So just like the previous problem with your recipe, we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a little table. Okay? We have Arlinda, Bernice, and Camelia, and their total money. Okay? So here's the original ratio. 15 to 20 to $24. So for every $15 that Arlinda has, Bernice has $20, a little bit more. And Camelia has $24, so the most. Maybe they're sharing this sum because they're all contributing money and Camelia contributes the most, right? Okay, so they have this joint pot of money. We got to add them all together to get the total. So let's see, 15 plus 20 plus 24. They have a total of $59 at their most simplest ratio when compared to each other. Now we want to continue that ratio because we're assuming they're keeping the same ratio when they split this cash, and their total is $4,720. If they were to maintain this ratio, how much would each girl get? We need to figure out what goes in each of these boxes. So just like before, we need to figure out the relationship there. What is the relationship? How do I get from 59 to 4,720? Let's see. 4,720 divided by 59 is 80. Okay, it's 80 times more because 59 times 80 is 4,720. Okay, so if this is multiplied by 80 to get there, then that means each of these amounts would also need to multiply by 80. Multiply by 80. Multiply by 80. It would just be 80 times more. If everybody contributed 80 times more, then of course their total sum would also be 80 times more. Okay, so 15 times 80 is 1,200. And then 20 times 80 would be 1,600. And then Camelia is 24 times 80, which is 1,000. 1,920. Let me rewrite that because that's not very clear. 1,920. Okay, and then you know what? Since they're big numbers, let me just double check. Let me add up all these numbers and just see if it gets me back to that total. 1,200 plus 1,600 plus 1,920. Yep. Okay, so that's how much each girl gets. Arlinda gets $1,200. Bernice gets $1,600, and Camelia gets $1,920. So I would circle this as my answer. That's it. So solving your word problems really helps to organize your work. I find that whenever it involves the total, a table really helps just to organize everything and make sure that the ratios are followed by multiplying or dividing to get to the new amount by still following the ratios.